Where's that rank in some of the great wins you've coached with Port Adelaide, Ken, to show that sort of spirit against a highly rated side with what was on the line in terms of finals? It must be one of the more special wins.
Yeah, it was a remarkable result, really, because we tried everything we did to lose it ourselves with our conversion. I mean, we're pretty dominant, really, through the game, and we just couldn't hit the scoreboard. And to Bulldogs' credit, they were able to go forward and hit the board. So, yeah, it was a remarkable win, really, when you consider it took that late in the game to get there. This team's been doing that. They've done it for a good period of time, not just for this game or this year, and even last year. We've been really resilient as a football team.
And to keep coming, as you say, to keep coming, especially in the second half. You didn't lead until 5 minutes to go in the game, but with finals so close, to show that those qualities so close to finals time must be very, very pleasing for you.
Yeah, it is, because that's what they're like. Finals are like that, and they're going to be, like that all the way through. It's going to be tough and tight. We played in them last year. We lost a prelim final by a goal. We understand you've got to be able to go the whole way, and you've got to be able to, we've got to hang in there sometimes. That's as simple as that. That's what it was. We just hung in there tonight, and we wouldn't go away. And the Bulldogs had lots to play for, as we did. But in the end, we were able to come over today, play that game of footy, hang tough, and come away with a strong win.
Can you give us a sense of your emotion for now you've qualified top two and you get a home final, Ken?
I think we deserve it. That's my overriding emotion, is we've worked damn hard to get here, and there's been a lot of reasons, a lot of things that we're not quite good enough. We weren't quite good enough, but I said all the way through this season, wait till the end of 23, see where we finish. I think we've had 2 seasons in a row now, back-to-back seasons, and I think that's how you build to win a premiership, is you have to consistently do it. And this footy team's been able to do that now for the last couple of years. We'll be as good as any team in the competition in September, and we're going to have to play very, very well to keep going and keep winning. But I know we're good enough, and I know we're ready to be a part of it.
Ken, a lot of stars out there tonight, plenty of important players, but how important was Travis Boak in just getting the guys up and going after a bit of a slow start?
Yeah, Trav was unbelievable through the whole night. He's been unbelievable through his whole career, to be fair to him, but he was one of those players. He couldn't have been trying or doing much more for us other than finishing some of his work himself. So he's a remarkable player. He's an incredible player for a long period of time at this football club. What more can you say about Travis Boak than has already been said this year?
Just following on from that question, Ken, it felt like it was your 4 real leaders in particular, Wines, Boak, Gray and Jonas, that had a huge say down the stretch on that game.
Yeah, they did. I think they all did. Yeah, I think there's a lot of them had to do some remarkable things out there, but that's why they fill those roles. Darcy Byrne-Jones, I thought too, he's part of the leadership group as well. But those players have played a lot of footy. They look, to be fair, they know at their stage of their careers, I think they know what opportunities they have left.
We talked last week about your slow starts and how you couldn't give the Bulldogs a slow start like you did last time. You did that again tonight. What do you think was most important to being able to, I guess, get the game on your terms and turn it around this time?
Kick some goals. It was simple. I thought we had enough opportunities early. Bulldogs did for 6 minutes of the first quarter look like they were more dangerous than us, but we were going the other way, and unfortunately, Todd's first shot, I think, was a point, and we missed some easy ones that we should have normally kicked ourselves, and I think we were down, 15, 16, 17 points at quarter time, but it felt like we were way closer than that. So, yes, it was on the scoreboard a slow start, but I don't think the stats probably said it was an absolutely slow start. You play good teams, they get going, we get going. But it was a pretty even start, to be fair, other than they kick goals, we kick points.
How pleased were you with the way Scott Lycett worked his way in the ruck, particularly he was playing on inexperienced Lewis Young and then undersized Bulldogs? Yeah,
it was. It was interesting that English didn't do much rucking, to be fair, and Scott was dominant, I thought, throughout the game, and our midfield against theirs probably got a significant advantage over what Scott was able to do. So, he's been a pretty good player for us at the time he's been back at Port Adelaide. He's one of the players now, only one of the players now, I think probably the only one that's a premiership player. So he understands it. So, he's been pretty significant all the way through this year. And in that patch where we didn't have Scott for 5 weeks when we played the Bulldogs last time, we played Geelong, that he's a big out for us.
Do you have an indication of the severity of Mitch Georgiades' hamstring?
Nah, not really, other than it's obvious hamstring, and they typically take 2 or 3 weeks. Mitch has had a little bit of history this year with his hamstrings, and he's got a little bit tight, and he's given him a little tickle here and there, but he usually recovers pretty quick. I would say at best he's available in 2 weeks. Probably at worst he's definitely available in 3 weeks.
You may not, obviously, with Georgiades out, you probably won't be able to play 4 big talls up forward, but is it an option for you? Is it a horses for courses thing, Ken, or is it your preferred model?
Which, sorry, I missed the
having
first part.
four tall forwards playing inside 50.
Yeah, let me tell you exactly the reason we went with 4 talls, and it worked out pretty well. So we ran out of high half forwards at one stage this year. We had about 7 of them injured, and we didn't have anyone left to put out there in fairness. So we went with 4. We liked what it done. Pete was contributing. Laddams, Marshall, Georgiades, Dixon all playing a role in Lysett. So we probably at the start of the year thought we'd have 3 talls, and we have a good group of small forwards. We've got Orazio who'll be available next week. So Mitch will be out, but it'll be certainly a different look. But I imagine Orazio probably will come in.
And bigger picture, obviously, I know you don't like to look too far ahead, but there is a chance, hypothetically, that you might not have to leave Adelaide at all this final series, given what's going on around the country. Do you sort of get a sense that you've got a really huge opportunity here?
Yeah, we have, because we're going to finish top 2, so we've got a huge opportunity, regardless of where the finals will play. We said we'll go and do whatever we need to do to make the final successful. Obviously, we qualify with an opportunity now to play at Adelaide with crowds, which I think is part of the main part of the whole thing for finals. I think we certainly provide that opportunity. We'd love nothing better than to be able to stay at Adelaide Oval the whole way, because that means we're winning. Really important, but we'll have to earn those rights.
You said you feel like you're as good a chance as any in the competition, Ken. Can you just give us a summary of how you think you're shaping going into this final series?
I think when you consistently play and win football at this level, you give yourself a great chance. And when you get to the finals, I know from history, and I know from my own history at the finals, that you've still got to execute well, but there's nothing better than qualifying high and giving yourself the best chance. And it always tells you that as soon as you get your chance to maximise it, you have to be ready to do it. Last year, we just didn't get it done against the premiership side in Richmond, and I said at the start of the year, I think we're ready, and we're very ready. Doesn't mean we're going to absolutely get there, but we're going to be tough to beat, put it that way.
Just how important is it to get the monkey off the back in terms of, there's been a bit made of your record against top 4 teams this year, but to get that monkey off the back, probably the best time to do it right before the finals. Does that sort of provide an extra fillip for the players?
Oh, look, I'm sure it's a worthwhile result for us, clearly, because of where it allows us to finish the season. But yeah, we never worried too much about it. We thought all those games that we played against top sides, most of the time we were more than a chance. We either led those teams, or we were certainly close enough that we could have won those games. We didn't win them, so I get that we certainly weren't getting the job done. I'm comfortable enough to know that we can beat the best teams in the competition. We're going to have to play well.
I know he came back on and rushed a crucial behind for you at the end there, but was Todd okay with his shoulder as well? He came off for a bit with that.
Yeah, no, Todd was fine. No, he's fine. He was typical fierce, ferocious game where a tall forward gets in contest. He got a sting. That's basically what he got. He'll be more than fine.
Anyone else other than Orazio that might come into the frame next week?
Yeah, we've got a good group available at the moment. Sandfeld Pepper's been playing too in the Sample play again tomorrow. He played really well last week, touched the ball 30 odd times. He'll certainly push really hard to be a part of it too. And we love what Sam brings. He's an aggressive player as well. But there's plenty of other players this year who we've played who would come in and be able to fill a role. We talked all year about squad mentality and being able to do it together. None of them boys who have already played AFL football should give up on an opportunity.